Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Now, one thing I can say about your girl Monique is that she is not afraid to speak the truth. She doesn't walk the fine lines of right and wrong just to please the execs and the higher ups. She speaks the truth regardless of if it gets her blackballed or not. And before it has, Monique stands in her truth, baby, and this time she is standing on it by any means necessary, and that means it's Oprah Winfrey. Monique took to her Instagram yesterday and she said this: "Dear Oprah, I felt compelled to write you this open letter after observing the disparity in the way that you seem to treat people who were accused of the same allegations. You did an interview on the CBS morning show and were asked about Harvey Weinstein by Norah O'Donnell, and you said as it pertained to him that you always try to look at the rainbow in the clouds, whatever is the silver lining. You also said if we make this all about Harvey Weinstein, then we have lost the moment. When you either are or were going to be a part of the documentary on Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons, how is that not making it about them? Interestingly, brother MJ was acquitted and deceased, so how is he not off limits? Russell and Harvey are accused of the same thing, so in fairness, how do you not support the accusers of both, as you said you did with Russell Simmons? Or you look for the silver lining for both, like you said you did with Harvey Weinstein. The only difference between the two is their skin color. And doesn't Harvey Weinstein have way more accusers? My personal experience with you is you've watched me as a black woman be accused of being difficult for not promoting Precious internationally for Lionsgate. At Lionsgate, Tyler Perry and your request, despite the fact my deal was with Lee Daniels Entertainment. And how are you for black women when you hear Tyler on audio saying I was right and he was going to speak up, but you or him still haven't said a word? When I was 16 and I met you at your show in Baltimore, I told you I wanted to be just like you when I grew up. You responded, "You have to work really, really hard." My 16-year-old self didn't know that you, in your silence, in the face of wrongdoing, would make my life harder. Lastly, please consider standing by the people who are right and not just by the right people. Love you to life, Monique. Ooh, it's so much to break down in this whole commentary, honey. So let's get to it. The interview in which Monique was referring to was on the CBS morning show with Oprah's BFF, Gayle King. And Oprah was asked this by Norah O'Donnell.
Let's talk about what's happening with Harvey Weinstein. I know you posted on Facebook already, but you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, "What is that?" I said, "Oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD."
And when you start talking about it out loud too,
everybody has a story. Everybody has a story, and so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way, I got to pretend he didn't say that, I got to pretend he didn't touch me. I think those days are about to be over.
Now, Harvey Weinstein is a friend of Oprah, and he happens to be a very rich film producer that co-founded Miramax with his brother Bob Weinstein. And he is also accused of sexually assaulting and harassing 93 women, which the majority of them are all big-name actresses who have nothing to gain from telling their stories. He's also accused of forcing himself and taking advantage of 14 women. As you see, Oprah beats around the bush when talking talking about Harvey, whom her own peers of stars are accusing of sexual harassment and assault. However, Oprah continues to bash Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons. Let's first start with Michael Jackson. Now, people have been side-eyeing your girl Oprah Winfrey for a while, more so when the Leaving Neverland documentary came out. As I've said before in previous videos, I've not watched it and I don't plan on it, but Oprah interviewed Michael Jackson's accusers, Wade Robson and James Safechuck. In the audience, there were more than 100 survivors of childhood sexual abuse and their supporters who had recently finished watching the 4-hour-long film. Again, Michael Jackson has been acquitted on all charges. After that interview, Jermaine Jackson took to Twitter and said so many in the media, including Oprah, blindly taking Leaving Neverland at face value, shaping a narrative uninterested in facts, proof, and credibility. We face similar graphic claims plus trial by media in 2005. Jury saw through it all. Trial by law proved Michael's innocence long ago. Fact. Now, Michael's gone. He's been gone for years. And again, he's been acquitted. Now, true tea is they said that Oprah is actually upset at Michael for taking a 1997 interview with Barbara Walters instead of taking it with her. Since then, Oprah has been taking stabs at Michael ever since. Now, instead of trying to further tarnish this man's legacy and interview people that have been proven to be liars before in the past, you can honestly go after your boy Harvey Weinstein and interview him and find out what's going on in his head. You can have a big special with his almost 100 accusers and find out exactly what went on, but because he's your friend, you won't take it there. Instead, you're going after another black man. You go after Russell Simmons. Oprah was set to be an executive producer of a documentary accusing rap mogul Russell Simmons, who was a good friend of Oprah, of doing the same thing her good friend Harvey Weinstein has done as well. Although Russell has admitted that all of his relations with these women were consensual. After Russell Simmons found out that Oprah was taking on this executive producer role in this documentary, he took to Instagram to express how shocking this was that Oprah was doing this to him and singling him out of everyone that she could single out, considering he's taught her meditation, brought her around the family, and he's admitted to being a playboy in the past, but he's saying he did not do this to these women. Oprah has since backed out of the documentary, saying that Russell Simmons is not her reason for doing so. Take a listen to this.
You decided to take your name off the documentary involving Russell Simmons and his alleged abuse of women. And I think people question, why would Oprah, of all people, do that?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I have lived Me Too since I was 9 years old and was raped at 9, sexually assaulted from 9 to 14, and then raped again at 14. And nothing is harder than standing up for yourself when you're 14 and not being believed. And I was not believed by my own family. So I stand in support of these women. I believe them. It was a hard decision because I knew that Russell Simmons had started publicly pressuring me and that me pulling out of the documentary was going to look like I was being pressured.
So what do you
He
say
publicly and privately pressured.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And so what do I say to that is, for me, and Gail knows this, in all experiences of my life, and particularly when I'm in a crisis, the only question for me is what is the right thing to do? For me.
Yeah.
And so before the public pressure had started, before Russell had gone with his Instagram, I had gone to the filmmakers and I had said to them, Houston, I think we have a problem here, because new information had come forward the very first time this was announced. And I said, I think we need to pull out of Sundance. And if we can't pull out of Sundance, I'm going to have to take my name off. I don't want to have to take my name off because it's going to be a big hullabaloo.
But you said pull out of Sundance so we can get it right.
Yeah, pull out of Sundance because I don't care about awards. I don't care. I just care about getting it right. And I think there's some inconsistencies in the stories that we need to look at.
Russell Simmons has first of all, he's denied all of the allegations vigorously.
Yeah.
You again have said that you unequivocally support these women.
Yes.
Why are you making it a point to say that, even though you're withdrawing from the...
Because I believe that the women's voices deserve to be heard. And as an executive producer, I also was in a position where I thought some things were not right. I wanted the context of the story to be broadened. I wanted more women brought into the story.
I personally feel like Oprah backed out of that documentary because she saw a lot of inconsistencies and untruths that were going to end up blowing up in her face when everything was revealed. Period, point blank. But if she took that same energy and placed it towards what's going on with Harvey Weinstein, I guarantee you she would get the views that she wants. She just would be outcasted amongst her own community. I hope Monique continues to out you out, Oprah. You ain't right. You ain't right, honey. Monique, more power to you, and I pray the Lord's blessings over you, because I'm telling you, when you start putting things like this out there, they will try to come and get you, girl. What I need you guys to do is leave a comment. Tell me what you think about Monique putting your girl Oprah on full blast. And what do you think about Oprah protecting her own? Protecting the rich, famous, and dirty, honey. Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Now, before I end this video, I want to tell you about a company called Ash Kicking. Now, you know your girl Chronicles would not promote a company without doing one of those thorough Chronicle Speaks investigations, honey, and Ash Kicking definitely passed the test. Y'all make sure to check out ashkicking.com for one of the best 100% natural home fragrance and beauty products, honey, and use my code Chronicles at checkout for an extra 15% off just for you. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new episodes.